and welcome back to Sundays in the Garden. If you're new here, my name is Sarah, and on this channel I share all of the things I'm getting up to in my English cottage garden and allotment area. If you're new, I would really love for you to subscribe so you can stay up to date with everything I'm sharing at the end of 2024 and into 2025. Today I'm going to be making several videos because we are actually going away really excitingly for nearly 3 weeks to Austria. So I'm going to try and make a few videos so I can post one each week while we're away, or at least a couple of times while we're away. I'll also try and do a video from the Mirabelle Gardens in Salzburg because I think that will be really beautiful, and see what kind of plants they've got in September in Austria. In today's video, I'm going to take you on a tour of the cottage garden and allotment area in the month of August 2024. So the first thing I'm noticing here is how autumnal everything is looking, despite it only being the 25th of August. So there is a lot less colour here, although the roses are still going strong, and everything is looking that much more sleepy. Up in the trees, the apples are starting to swell and change colour, and on the floor, the first leaves are falling. So it's quite fitting that I bring you over here to these autumn favourites, which are the dahlias. And down over here, you can see these ones that I got for my birthday are still repeat flowering and doing really well. I'm just deadheading them and letting them continue to come. But the rest, apart from this beautiful Seattle here, have yet to flower. Can you believe how stunning that is? She's now past her best, but I'm going to see if I can insert a picture of her when she was looking at her beautiful best a few days ago. So as you can see, the colour is now much more orangey than the yellow that it was, but still absolutely stunning. And I just love this dahlia, the Seattle dahlia, a new one for the garden, but one that is definitely going to stay. And the rest of the dahlias here are still looking very green, but no more flowers yet. Lots of buds starting to come over here. You can see some buds on the Cafe au Lait. But I'm actually going to be away in Austria for 3 weeks, so I imagine lots of these might start to flower while I'm away, and my lovely sister is going to come in and just keep on top of watering and things for me. So hopefully she will send me some pictures of these as they start to pop, and I can't wait to see how they're looking when I get back. Over to the pond area now, and again a very autumnal feel here compared to last month. The meadowsweet, the pink meadowsweet, is now pretty much finished, so there's no colour there. The loosestrife that was providing the yellow colour is pretty much finished, so that's looking much just more plain now and green. And the lavender has been cut back, or almost cut back, so no lavender flowers either. Over here, the roses are still going, bless them. I'm deadheading them regularly, and there are still roses to come on all of the rose plants. And I'll show you over here the buds that are still to come up on the red rose. Lots there to see, and over on the David Austin Roldahl there are still some to come there as well. And throughout the month of August, these have been absolutely beautiful. So there are a few weeks to go now on these lovely roses, and then this pond area will be finished for autumn. And over to the right hand side of the garden now, you can see that this beautiful fuchsia is still in full flower and providing some much needed colour to the right hand side of the garden. Next to it, the Crocosmia lucifer has now finished flowering and gone to seed, and so it won't be long before I will be cutting this back. Over to the left-hand side of the garden now, and you can see that the yellow loosestrife has finished flowering, and the sea of yellow that we enjoyed for many months has now turned to a sea of green. It won't be long before I am cutting this back down to the ground, as I do every year, in anticipation of a beautiful display again next summer. Coming up to the right-hand side of the middle section of the garden now, and you can see this is as it was for the last few months, and it will need to be dug over and cut back so I can plant all of the new shade-dwelling plants I would like to pop in here ready for next year. But it's a to-do list job, and hopefully we'll get to it soon. The area behind the deck seating area is getting rather overgrown now. The sweet peas are actually still flowering on this teepee, and they've actually kind of done better than they were doing earlier in the season. So I'm not really sure why they have now decided they're going to flower, but we've had a fair few sweet peas on this one. So I might try it again next year and try and get them in a bit sooner. We'll see on that one. Over at the back here, you can see the foxgloves have completely gone to seed now and thrown down lots of lovely seeds. So hopefully we'll have lots more foxgloves next year. All I need to do is remove the stakes and cut the stems off for these, and then hopefully another lovely display next year. Coming over to the verbena now, the poor thing has been battered by the strong winds we've been having, and I'm doing my best to hold it up. It's not looking the most beautiful, but the pollinators are still loving it. And I am really pleased with how the star jasmine is doing on the hazel hurdle. It's put on lots of new growth this season in its first year. So now let's come up to the allotment area and see what is happening up here in the month of August. Okay, so first of all, if I take you over to the left-hand side, and you will see that the rhubarb has all but finished. I harvested some stems today, which I'm going to turn into a kind of puree to put in my porridge for the next few days before we go on holiday. But I think that that is nearly done now and nearly ready for kind of cutting back. Over in the strawberry bed, we are still getting strawberries, which is absolutely amazing. I harvested 6 strawberries today and they were absolutely delicious, and it looks like there are still more to come. And then standing up to look at the greens area, that is still as it was, and I'm still enjoying some harvests from that area, so that's brilliant. And then over here in the brassica bed, it is looking really, really sort of crowded in there really. I'm going to see if I can extend those cages perhaps, but I'm not sure if I've got enough netting, and they don't seem to be doing too badly, so I'll keep an eye on them. But if we try and peek through, I'll see if I can show you where the Brussels sprouts are starting to form. There are some there, they're tiny ones on that one. Let me see if I can take you over here. They're slightly larger on here, but not by a lot. There they are, baby Brussels sprouts. Are they going to be ready in time for Christmas? When am I going to be able to enjoy these? Can't wait to have Brussels sprouts from the garden. Then this right-hand bed has the carrots and the parsnips in here, and I'm going to leave those in there till I get back from holiday and then harvest those. And then in here, the peas are doing brilliantly. I don't know if you can see all of the pods that are on here. There are so many pods. So I'm going to ask my sister to keep an eye on these, wait for them to fatten up, and then pick them, and hopefully she can enjoy them while we're away. And we'll see if there are any remaining when we come back from our holiday. And the 2 beds behind have been cleared. This is where the broad beans were, and this is where the onions and the leeks were, but I've cleared this all out now and just left it ready for new things. So in this one back here, I think I'm going to pop in a few rows of carrots before I go away, and also some turnips, and see if any of those come to fruition. And then I'm going to leave this bed for my broad beans in November when I'm going to plant those. And then at the back here, the courgettes are still doing well and they're still producing. Let me take you down and show you how they're doing. We've harvested our courgettes for this week, so these ones hopefully will be there for next week, and my sister can harvest them when we're not here, but they're doing okay. And that bed there, I'm going to put either leeks or onions in once I start clearing this area. So leeks or onions in here. And then coming over to the other side, you can see, well, the bean arch is looking amazing, and it's also become rather a pumpkin arch as well, because the pumpkins have started to climb up the left-hand side. So it's all looking very, very lush and full of life. The beans are producing brilliantly for us, and I'm eating lovely runner beans every single day. The nasturtiums are running through there into the pumpkin bed. They're not doing so well on this side, and I'm not sure why. Perhaps I didn't deadhead them enough. I'm not sure about that one, or it could have been something to do with the light on the right-hand side. But it's a real success story, this arch, looking great and producing lots of food for us. And the beans are not stringy. They're really lovely. I'm picking them when they're not too big, but these ones are for the next few days that are here at the moment. And here are the ones I harvested today. And as you can see, there are lots of red flowers on here, so that means lots more beans to come. So my sister can pick those while I'm away and enjoy them, and we'll see if they're still going in 3 weeks' time when we come back. And down here in the pumpkin bed, this pumpkin is getting really nice and large, and I've cleared the leaves around it to allow light to get to it and hope it will ripen. And then on this side, we have a couple of pumpkins on the patio slabs, which is good because they will not rot down there. And one is slightly larger than the other, but they're looking pretty good. And there are also a couple of others hiding amongst the leaves. So pumpkins looking really, really lovely. So this is the view of the allotment area in the month of August, with unfortunately a lot of weeds growing through the slabs there. And this area is pretty much the same as it was when you last saw it, except that I have now harvested the potatoes because you may remember they were looking a bit worse for wear. But I was pretty pleased with the harvest and I got a fair few potatoes, albeit slightly smaller than I was hoping for, but absolutely delicious nonetheless. And then over here, this area is still giving me lots of lovely blackberries, but I have a grand master plan to put in a fruit cage over here, I think, for some raspberries and the blackberries and possibly some other fruit as well. So watch this space and subscribe if you haven't already. And then looking down here to the chimney pot herb planters, they are still doing really, really well. I'm really pleased with how these have turned out, providing us with lots of lovely herbs for the kitchen. And finally now, I'm going to take you into the greenhouse and show you what's going on with the tomatoes. Now, I have taken off all of the lower leaves so that all of the energy can now hopefully go into ripening these fruits. I've taken off a lot of the leaves higher up as well. And there's some really good sized fruit on here, but they are still green. So I am hoping that they're going to maybe ripen up now I've removed some of the leaves. If not, it will be a case of taking these off and popping them on a sunny windowsill to hopefully speed up the ripening process. But there are a good number of tomatoes on there. I don't know what's going on with this cucumber, bless it. It never really got going and it's still there and it's not dead, so I'm just going to leave it. But like I said before, unlikely we're getting any cucumbers from that. And these aubergines are still going, but I just don't think I'm having any success in pollinating these flowers. This one has yet to fall off, so there is hope. But I don't know if we're going to get any aubergines. We will wait and see. I'm really going to miss this view for the next few weeks, but I'm sure the beautiful mountains in Austria will help to take my mind off it. Thank you all so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video today, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time with my garden jobs for September.